going on, y'all? Welcome back to Going for Two. I am Q1 Humphreys. The Indiana Pacers, man, they continue to shock the basketball world. Well, they may not be shocking you if you're a Pacers fan, but everyone else, the rest of us, unless you're a Ultra Knicks hater, are shocked that the Pacers are up 2-0 right now. You know, and I think what's going on in this series is the exact reason why you have to win games that you're supposed to win in the playoffs. The Knicks blew game 1, and in game 2, the Pacers just came out ready, and they came out and got the job done. Pascal Siakam, it was a Pascal Siakam game. He goes off for 39 points, a playoff career high. I want to say it is his it is his third or fourth 35 plus point game in a plus point playoff game in a Pacers uniform. It's the most points scored in a Pacers game, in a Pacers playoff game since Paul George in 2016. Pascal Siakam was a man on a mission today. You know, he was really, really unstoppable, especially going downhill. The Knicks just had nothing. They had nothing for him. You know, Tyrese Halliburton started off, didn't really score too well in the first half, but in the fourth quarter, he got back to doing what he was doing, scoring and diming, and ultimately was responsible for 6 very big points. He had the driving kick to Miles Turner, and then the stare-down 3 right over Jalen Brunson in the fourth quarter, along with a big assist at the end of the game with the outlet pass that put them up by 10 with like a minute and a half left. The Indiana Pacers, man, you know, I think this series, you know what, I'm going to say it. I think this series, I talked about it in the preview. The talent, if we're talking just individual talent, it belongs to the New York Knicks. But individual talent does not win you playoff games. It does not win you playoff series. And it does not win you NBA championships. It's a combination of individual talent with your chemistry and how you put that together to be a cohesive unit as a team. And it's about coaching. And through these first 2 games, we have seen Rick Carlisle out-coached Tom Thibodeau. And that was a question mark for me all throughout the playoffs. Tom Thibodeau is not a guy that's going to make the most adjustments. He's going to stick to his guns, and he's going to throw his guys out there. Looking at, you know, there's a stat out that has for the top 5, for each team's most played lineup, their net rating. You have the Pacers, who have a great net rating with their most played 5. You have the Timberwolves with a good net rating. OKC with a good net rating. But the New York Knicks, most played 5, have a -8 net rating. Their starters have a minus net rating on the court. And Tom Thibodeau was asked about this prior to the game, and he gave an answer that didn't really answer anything. You know, Tom Thibodeau is not a coach that's going to make a bunch of adjustments, and him not making adjustments, and him not showing the ability to adapt and bring in other players is killing him and is killing his team. Now let's get to tonight's game. Karl-Anthony Towns, he scored a decent bit. I believe he finished with 20 points, but on the defensive end, he was abysmal. Absolutely abysmal on the defensive end. They were attacking him possession in and possession out, man, and it landed him on the bench for majority of the fourth quarter. You know, and Karl-Anthony Towns, this is a guy that's virtually unstoppable when it comes to, you know, against his Pacers team. Every game so far this season, he's pretty much had his way against the Indiana Pacers. But when you're being attacked the way he was being attacked in the pick and roll tonight defensively, you can't play because we cannot get stops. We cannot trade baskets. You know, I think the Knicks did a good job of slowing the pace down. This was not the 130 to 130 track meet that the Pacers like to play. It was a 114 to 109 ball game. It was a close, slow-paced ball game. And it played into the hands of the New York Knicks. But the thing about the Pacers is they got timely stops. You know, they got timely stops. Mitchell Robinson, it's tough. To me, it's tough for the Knicks because they're two bigs. They're just polar opposites. You know, they're polar opposites. And you compare the two bigs. You compare the two bigs of the Knicks and the two bigs of the Pacers. it's like that's where this series is going left to me. You got Siakam, who just gave you 40, and he can play defense. You got Miles Turner, who's a great rim protector. That's what got him drafted, is rim protection, and he's hitting threes. Them two together are winning the matchup of the front courts. Because you look at the New York Knicks, just speaking on their two centers, Karl-Anthony Towns, great offensively, liability on defense. Mitchell Robinson, great defensively, liability on offense because he can't make free throws. So with those two factors, with those two guys that you really can't get both sides of the coin out of either one of them, you're going to struggle, And I think that's what ended up having Karl-Anthony Towns on the bench tonight. If you're not going to play defense, I have to send a message, and I think that's what Tom Thibodeau did. Tom Thibodeau tried to send a message to Karl-Anthony Towns saying, "Hey, we need your energy, your effort on the defensive end if we're going to get this job done. If we're going to win this series." Now, I talked about how so much of the Knicks guys are going to be back this year in comparison to last season, and that's the case, But I think the offense of the Knicks is it's not good. It's not good. They don't really come out with any plan. It's just a lot of their buckets are gonna be tough shots by Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson had himself another good game. He scored 31 points on the day. He has the most. He had 36 tonight. He has the most points over 2 games in a playoff series while being down 0-2 since I think LeBron in maybe 2009, I think they said. And if you're a player getting compared to LeBron James in 2009, that's tough, because that means you're doing everything and your teammates aren't doing too much. But back to what I was saying, Jalen Brunson, the Knicks offense is just they don't create any easy looks. It's Brunson just putting in the work and he's scoring, yes, but He's not efficient. He wasn't efficient with it tonight. 13 for 27, not the worst efficiency, but not the best by any means compared to last game. Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, those guys had decent games, but I think the big thing with the Knicks, they just gotta play defense, bro. That was a big thing coming to the series that I thought the Knicks were going to make the difference. I thought their defense and the perimeter defenders that they have were going to make the difference in stopping this great Indiana Pacers offense, but that just hasn't been the case so far this series. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's a legit question of, okay, what can they do? What can they do to win? I'm watching the Indiana Pacers do a good job against Jalen Brunson in the fourth quarter. They're blitzing him. They're sending a bunch of bodies at him. They're saying, okay, Brunson, we're not going to allow you to win this game. We're going to make somebody else win this game. We're going to make OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, Karl-Anthony Towns. We're going to make them guys win this game. We know you're the clutch player of the year, so we're going to do what we got to do to try to get the ball out of your hands when it's clutch time. And so far it's worked. Last game they had the big comeback. In this game, they put the game away in the fourth quarter by getting timely stops, But I think it is important. It is important, y'all. These two teams have been great on the road this playoffs. And maybe I'm throwing the lifesaver out to the New York Knicks, but the Indiana Pacers are 5-1 over their last 6 road games. The New York Knicks, I want to say, are 2-5 over their last 7 over their 7 home games this series, this year. This playoff run. So they haven't been good at home. You hate that you're down 0-2 going to Indiana, but according to the patterns of this playoff run for the Knicks, they got them right where they want them. But they're just going to have to make some changes. They're going to make some changes. They're going to figure some stuff out. Let me know in the comment section. What y'all are thinking, man. 0-2, both series, both the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference Finals have a 2-0 series. And let's hope that the Timberwolves and the Knicks can make something shake so we can have more basketball, because if both of these series end fast, we're going to have a week of no NBA. So we're pulling for good games and longer series, y'all. But until next time, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share with y'all folks. Until next time, going for 2. We out of here. Yeah.